What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Coatings channel, and today I'm doing a set of one of my favorite sets of wheels, the Advan RGs. So if you are a wheel nerd, you probably know what this is. You might even know what this is if you're not a wheel nerd. We're doing a full refinish on this set, including replacing the blue stripe. The only thing we're not doing is these decals. The customer has a set of decals ready to go in, so we're just redoing these, actually doing the whole set in silver with the blue stripe. As you can see, these are really corroded. This is kind of standard, honestly, for Advan wheels. They are not the best finishes from the factory, despite being a great wheel. The quality of the wheel itself is super high, just their finishes are literal trash. If you ever heard me talk about Brembo brakes, these are about the equivalent as far as finishes go in the wheel world. I got the date here of November 13th, 2000, meaning these wheels are 23 years old at this point. So holding up pretty well overall. Can't expect the finish to necessarily be perfect. Gonna get these things prepped and ready for chemical stripping. So pulling off all the weights. You want to try to get as much of the adhesive off. When I stripped these was back when I was still using rim strip. As most of you know who follow this channel, I no longer use rim strip, but this was back when I used rim strip, and I know that rim strip will take off the adhesive and stuff. It just takes a bit longer, so I tend to strip as much of it off as possible. Now I need to take a little pause here. I'm actually going to insert the audio from this original video. This was a set of wheels that was redone by a local company who promised great finishes, of course, and this is the result. All right, so this is some of the stuff I have to deal with. This set of Advan wheels, and as you can see, if you look at this, finish work all in here is all trash. You can see how poorly that these were sprayed. And all in here. See if we can get this to focus. Inside of every single one of these looks like that. Inside there looks like that. I did just primer here. You flip these over, it's just primer inside. It's all just overspray. And it's interesting because they told the guy that they stripped these down entirely, but they obviously didn't, because there's still stuff all in all the barrels and all the sides. And it's unfortunately both of these wheels. This one's the exact same way. Like, this is the stuff that you have to deal with when you go to shops that don't know what they're doing. So we're gonna take these, throw them in the stripper, and get them done up. Alright, so I didn't want to bore you guys with another video of me showing them going in and out of the stripper. This is once again back when I was still using rim strip. So went through the rim strip, came out, went into a neutralization tank, and now I'm just rinsing them off, trying to get all the remnants of paint and such back off of them. Really just trying to get them as clean as possible, because the next step, of course, is going to be going in for sandblasting. You can tell that the finish on these wheels, not the finish, but the surface area on these wheels is all pretty good, with the exception of the barrel. The barrel still has quite a bit of corrosion on it. It looks a lot worse than it actually is. You can't feel most of it. So we're going to go through and sandblast it and get rid of, kind of the visible corrosion, and hopefully it'll remove enough material that you won't be able to see any of that corrosion when we're done. Actually, I know what these wheels turn out like, so I know that you can't see it, but it worked like a champ, just getting it all blasted. This is actually, I was still using red garnet in this video. I think this is 80 mesh red garnet, if I remember correctly. So we're going to use that, try to get rid of all this corrosion here, throwing it in the scat blast cabinet. Many of you who are longtime followers of this channel know that I love scat blast cabinets, for one, and I also normally love green diamond. I got away from green diamond for a little bit on the move up to Washington, but I'm actually back using 3060 green diamond for pretty much everything at this point. It's in the big blaster and the little blaster, so I understand that it looks a little different in this video just because it's red garnet. Don't trip, I'm still green diamond for life. Now we got these things all blasted and cleaned up. The corrosion spots are all basically gone. You couldn't feel them or see them or anything. Now that those things have been blasted, we're going to go ahead and tape them. Those little areas, little pockets basically between the lug holes, I'm going to end up cutting the tape out so I can get powder into those just to protect them. I'm I'm up in the Northwest. We've got obviously a lot of moisture up here, so I want to minimize the amount of bare aluminum that is exposed to the elements, which will minimize, of course, the corrosion. And if there's anywhere you don't want corrosion, it's on your back pad. So I'm gonna go ahead and high temp mask the back of these, and then I'm gonna trim out the lug holes and those little pockets between. I've had a couple people ask me why I do the lug holes, and I just feel like I can get powder to spray deeper into the lug hole with no resistance like you might otherwise get if there was tape back there. Just lets it blow right through. And we got these hung up. The only thing I didn't show in this process, by the way, is the outgassing process. Most of you know you got to outgas wheels, especially cast wheels, so you would throw these in the oven at over your cure temp for approximately an hour. Kind of depends on what you're doing. These end up being there for about an hour. That just makes sure you get any impurities or anything out of the metal. So we're gonna roll these into the booth, and I did this kind of a weird way. You're gonna see on this rack there's 2 wheels, and on another rack there's 2 wheels, but we end up combining them in the end. I actually do not remember the name of this color. This is a color that I picked specifically to match Advan's old silver that they used to use. They actually don't use this same silver anymore. If you really need to know the color, let me know. Post it in the comments or something like that. I am happy to respond. I'm not one of those guys that hoards colors from people. And of course, we're spraying with the Gema Optiflex Pro here, box fed, of course. And gonna lay a nice good coat of silver in. Remember, there was some areas of corrosion on this, so I'm gonna spray this, I guess maybe a little bit heavier than I would otherwise. But most of that's actually gonna be back on the back barrel. Just want to make sure that I'm filling in any of those corrosion spots. After blasting, they were pretty much non-existent. If you looked really hard, you could find a couple areas that might have been, you know, low areas, so to speak. But this is a good way to kind of fill it in, use powder. If you guys are looking for more tips and tricks, I would definitely suggest joining the UKC Army Facebook page, or keep going through my videos here. Either one, you know, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, all the nonsense every YouTuber tells you to do here. Trying to get to 20,000 subscribers, and we are climbing pretty good now. I think we're over 17,000 now, so now that we're doing a video every day up until Christmas, hopefully we'll get some more followers going on in here. After that was put in the oven and partially cured. Partially cured means I flowed it out to, I basically got it up to the temperature and then pulled it out of the oven. So got it up to cure temp. It was not even there a minute after I got it up to temperature. I do that because this silver seems, if you don't do a pretty good cure on this silver, it doesn't set the metallic. And so when you spray the clear on it and the clear starts to cure, it seems to pull the metallic and do some kind of weird things in spots. If you're a long-time powder coater, you've probably seen similar stuff to that if you didn't cure things long enough, or sometimes if you cured them too long, it'll affect the metallics. So we're using Tiger's Bengal clear here. Always my favorite clear ever since the very first time I sprayed it. There's literally not another clear on the market that's even comparable to this. I know a lot of you guys who love prismatic, you know, think Clear Vision as your jam. I promise if you ever try Tiger's Bengal clear, you will immediately change your mind. Spray is easier, it's way smoother, it's much clearer, way less orange peel. It's way glossier of a finish even, so it actually sounds like I'm kind of a rep for Tiger at this point, but I'm not actually. I just really, really like this clear. And they're black. And as you heard, I am doing a video a day up until Christmas. This video is going to be coming out, I believe it is on the 6th of December. I was going to try to do one every day of December up until Christmas, but been a little bit behind working on a big video that's going to be coming out on a big announcement on New Year's Day of 2024. So once again, if you're into powder coating or powder coating content, highly suggest hitting that subscribe button. Definitely turn on all notifications, especially this month, because there's going to be a ton of videos coming out. After those get cured, they come out of the oven looking absolutely perfect. These wheels turned out, I mean, just gorgeous out in the sun. You can see nice glossy finish, highly reflective. This is like a dead match to the old Advan silver, which once again, they don't use anymore, but this is an actual like great match for it. Sure wish I could remember the name of the color. I will definitely look it up again, so if you guys have questions, once again, just put them in the comments. If you have any other questions about powder coating, feel free to put those in the comments. I try to get through and answer those like once a week. I go through all the questions and try to answer them as best I can. So the next step on these, besides, I guess, pulling the tape off, which we're going to do right here, I usually try to pull this tape off while they're still hot. I didn't in this instance, and I regret it. This tape, most of you know I prefer the amber tape. I've been using a bunch of this green tape lately for certain projects, and I just hate pulling it off in most situations, honestly. If it's not really warm, it's a nightmare to get off. I know a lot of you guys swear by it. I'm a big amber tape guy, and I'm probably going to go back to using nothing but that. And here you can see how I masked these pads off. So the mounting area is all still perfect. Did silver on the board because there are no center caps on these wheels. Next step up is doing the blue on these. So luckily got a pinstriper in-house. He was happy to lay in this blue color. I actually don't remember the name of this blue. It is just a RAW color. It is a match to the original Advan finish, of course. So he just throws it up on this handy little table, little turntable here, and using his ridiculous pinstriping skills and brushwork, ends up laying the pinstripe down into this wheel absolutely perfect. As you can see, there's no masking or anything on this. He does all this by hand, so turned out actually way better than I expected. Not that I expected anything less from him, because he's an excellent pinstriper, but I'm always weirded out when you're doing paint on a rounded edge, which is what this wheel has on both sides of it to kind of define its line. There's a rounded edge, but when you're a professional, you're a professional. He absolutely knocked it out of the park with this. And then this is them. This is them finished. There's the two silver wheels, or two that started off silver and two that started off gold. Once again, those ones that somebody else had tried to refinish prior to that, local company, and then gave them to the customer to get the tires put on, and he put the stickers on, and here are those. As you can see, look absolutely amazing. Look just like they're fresh from the factory. Alright guys, that's going to wrap this video up. Once again, got a video a day going from now up until Christmas of 2023, and then a huge announcement coming New Year's 2024. Stay tuned to the channel. Thanks again.